Hello, soul friends. This is Miriam. Welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is what is special about you? What makes you special? So we're just going to kind of give you some, some props, some good self-esteem, right? Remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice, or just simply your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. No matter how you look at that, it is healthy and you are in the right place. The cards we shall be using today are, okay, so let's go ahead and do some live shuffling and get some rocks on there for you. So what makes y'all special? What makes you special? What is special about you? Okay, now let's get you some rocks. You special little specialtons. Okay. And let's do hearts. We'll do this heart. Peachy heart for group 2. Mustard heart for group 3. And black and red heart for group 4. Alrighty, go ahead and pause if you need. Get those all situated so that I can do a thumbnail. Yes. And we will see you in your individual readings, my friends. Bye. Hello, group 1. So if you picked the little whatever this is, it's very dark. It's so dark. But it's kind of, black and browns and grays kind of all mixed together. It's very pretty. Let's go ahead and look at your overall energy of what makes you special. 6 of Cups, 9 of Wands, 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords, and 3 of Wands. Okay, y'all are spicy. My group 1s, very spicy. Now, don't let it get you down if you think some of the cards look like there's a client calling. So anyway, what they're showing me is that you are a no-nonsense person, okay? You like balance in your life. You're a very giving person, but you're also someone who understands that, everything is a give and a take. And so if you are around people, friends, whoever, and you're not getting from them what you're giving, then you're pretty much going to bounce, right? You learned this because of being too giving in the past and not getting much to show for it, and sometimes even being punished for your good deeds. I feel like you probably got punished for those good deeds, especially when you were younger. I'm picturing were you like the kid at school when you were little that the teachers would make hang out with the one kid that nobody would hang out with? And even though that kid was kind of like clingy and annoying, you know, that kind of thing, they would still be like very, very like drawn to you, right? It it feels like those were the types of situations where like you did a good deed and got punished. It's like you were nice to this kid one day, maybe the teacher didn't even make you, you just felt bad and did it out of the goodness of your heart. And then the kid like started like stalking you basically. Did anybody have that when they're I had that issue when I was a kid. Like I never had like a huge group of friends. I sort of kind of got along with either sort of getting along with everybody, but not really being a part of them, or just being a totally ostracized, you know, loser that nobody wanted to hang out with as well. And so while this didn't bother me as bad as it bothered some of the other kids that were in that situation, they would think, oh, you don't have any friends, I don't have any friends, let's be friends together. And I'd be like, okay, that's cool. And then they would be weird, like they'd try to put you down. or you'd catch them like going to those people that hated you and saying, oh my gosh, like she's so dumb. You know, and it's like, I don't even like you, and I was hanging out with you because I felt sorry for you, so now you can just go away. That kind of energy is what I'm picking up with these two cards here. It's like you got tired of being punished for doing good deeds, and so you found a balance of that in your life by taking care of yourself, okay? And knowing like a dead end when you see one, right? Or seeing, you know, picking up on those warning signs of somebody not being reciprocal in a genuine way with someone when they're kind to them like you are. So I feel like sometimes that's like another thing that you get punished for, right? Of like, oh, you're so cold, you just don't care, that kind of feeling. But what's also special about you is that you've risen above that. If you ever felt guilty for that before, you don't now. If you do feel guilty right now, and you're like, that's off base, I do feel guilty, your guides are showing that you're on your way to being able to let that go. And being able to be honest with yourself. Like, I don't want, you know, that kind of negativity in my life. And if someone wants to say, oh, they're so mean, when you finally cut them loose, you're just going to be like, that's fine. You can think whatever you want. I need my peace. I don't need you in my life. So that's kind of nice. Let's go ahead and get some more. You work well with others, even though I'm getting loner vibes for some of you, not all. Justice, yeah, you're fair about how you do things, what you want, and how you do it, right? That you don't push people away unless they're deserving of it. You're a hard worker, and you just put your head down and get the job done. I see you as being somebody who doesn't try to make friends at work, which is a great thing, because if you're friends with people at work, you know, if you don't end up staying friends, work sucks after that. Same thing with dating people from work, right? And 9 of Cups. Yeah, because you have this system down, or you're on your way to getting it down, that's going to bring in wish fulfillment, which could be like more genuine friends, having more positive people around you, and all in all feeling like you feel good. Yeah. So that is what I'm seeing for you, Group 1. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comments section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading, there are ways to do so in the description box. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, Group 2. So if you picked Peachy Heart, whatever this stone is, literally looks like the inside of a peach. So funny. Let's go ahead and see what's special about you. We have 5 of Pentacles, the Moon, the 2 of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles, and the Fool. So what your guides are showing me with these is that I feel like you're a charitable person. You're giving not only just, not only with like monetary giving, but you're also very giving of time. If you were to see someone out alone in the rain, you would be likely to stop and try to help them, that kind of energy. Or you saw someone stranded on the side of the road, you would stop and check on them to make sure they're okay, ask them if they need you to call anybody, help them change a tire, that kind of energy. Be careful on the road. People can be weird. Okay, but I see you being like a good person of reaching out to those when they are in need and like helping them feel better. I also see that you have a very strong intuition. You could be a little bit psychic or have some kind of connection to the spirit world or have some kind of magical powers about you. That makes you very special. You kind of know, and that might be how you've stayed safe when you stop and help people on the side of the road, right? You're like, they'll be all right, as opposed to like, I got a weird feeling about this guy. I'm just gonna, make it to the next payphone. Not that those exist. I'm just gonna make it to the next service area where my cell phone works. I just aged myself so terribly. And call somebody and say, hey, there's a car broken down at, I whatever, and go get them, right? Okay. But like you still choose to help them even if you haven't like gotten all the way there, that kind of energy. If you've never been in that situation before, that's okay. It's just an example. You are always on the lookout for opportunities to be good or useful in a spiritual sense. I think that probably people in this group, one of the things that makes you all special is that you conduct your life in a way that like leads with love and leads with integrity and leads with truth. So it's like you don't just get a job to make money. You got a job that you want to help people or you want to do something that matters, right? If you make friends with people, it's not just to like have somebody to pass the time with. It's like somebody who can help you learn and grow and vice versa, right? This has sort of led you to live a little bit of a solitary life when it comes to friends in some cases, but it doesn't bother you because you think of quality over quantity. And so I see you being very secure in like times when you're single. I see you being secure in times when maybe your circle is a little bit smaller, and being very secure in times when people turn against you, even like not apologizing and not feeling like you need to take share of the blame. 10 of Pentacles. Some of you might have a very, 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 very big family or have in-laws that are very family oriented. You're special in the sense that your role in the family cannot be replaced. If this was all making sense and this one doesn't, don't worry about it. It's a general reading. But I am seeing some very good family member vibes. If you don't yet have a family or your family's rather small, this could be something coming for you in your future as far as having more like people that you're related to around you. And you just go with the flow. The full energy is like just letting the universe lead you where it leads you. I don't see you fighting against things when they happen. I see you just dusting yourself off and taking the lesson and moving forward. And that's something that people usually have to be taught. I feel like people in this group didn't need to learn that. You just came out your mama and you just started doing this. Just day one, right? And so that's quite nice. Let's get some tarot cards for you. 10 of Swords. The High Priestess. The Hanged Man. Strength. And the Emperor. Very nice. So with the 10 of Swords, a lot of times this shows like stuck energy or being betrayed or not seeing a way forward or not being able to go forward. But in this card, there's always like light at the end of the darkness. And your guides are just showing again that part of what makes you special is that even at the worst, in the worst possible situations, that you find the light no matter what. So you might be somebody who's very, very awesome to have around when people are grieving. If you work with like groups of people, like one of the things that you might do is like bring a lot of hope in desperate situations, you know, and just always being willing to look for the light no matter how dark things have gotten. Here they're showing again confirmation. You have very strong intuition. If you're like, I'm not psychic, there's no way. You might want to start reading up on different kinds of psychic gifts people have, intuitive gifts people have, mediumship, all of those things, because your guides are saying you're quite gifted in some area in that esoteric sense. So don't ignore that, because they've literally given that to you twice in a way. You see things differently from others, but it's a good, fresh perspective. People actually appreciate that about you, even if they don't say it all the time. You kind of make people see things in a different way as well. So you might have a unique look or a unique style. You might have like a unique way of speaking. Or just, you know, your outlook on things is just a little different from the norm of what you normally see people doing. You are very strong, goal-oriented, very much like a stoic figure. I don't see you railing about when things go wrong. I see you being like the voice of reason, the calm person in the crowd, etc. and so forth with this card as well. And you do your own thing. You are your own emperor, right? You don't need anybody else to help you through this life. You're doing just fine on your own. Not that you don't have people around you. Some of you have a huge family, but you don't let that color like your decisions. You don't let anybody else color your decisions except yourself. You don't judge other people, from what I can tell. And it just makes you an all-around cool cat, my friends. And with that, I shall leave you. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comments section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading, there are ways to do so in the description box. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, group 3. So if you picked the mustard heart. Every time I see this, I hear that. I can't even remember which character it was. On the Disney version of Alice in Wonderland, where he's like, mustard. But every time I see this card, that's what I think of. I like to call this shirt mustard, but it's probably more of a marigold. Okay, let's look and see what's special about you. 9 of Cups. Ooh. Page of Swords. 3 of Cups. 6 of Wands. Dang. And Wheel of Fortune. Aren't you a special little specialton? Okay. What your guides are showing me with these cards is that you might have a lot of wishes come true in your life. Not to say that things are easy for you or that you just have everything handed to you, but you have this gift in manifestation to the point where things kind of work out. If there's something that you want, you go get it, right? I see you making your own destiny in a lot of ways, making your own luck in a lot of ways, and it's paid off for you tremendously and will continue to do so. To some outsiders, it might look like it's easy for you, or you might look like you're just like one of those really lucky people. You know, you might look good, you might also feel good, you might also have good things happening to you, right? And people see that and they're like, oh, how do they do it, right? You do it through your manifestation of knowing that what you have, you deserve, and knowing what you want, you also deserve. And so you're very good at going after what you want. But at the same time, you're very good at sitting back and letting what you want come to you. Interesting. You keep a curious mind. You're always ready to learn new things. I think that it's cool that a lot of you, when you were younger especially, but even now, you're not afraid to like ask questions of people, even if they are like, oh, that was a stupid question. You're just unapologetic about it. And if you want to know something, you just go for it. If you want to say something, you just go for it. I see you as not being tactless, however. I see you being actually very humble, very tactful, but you still will speak the truth regardless of what the situation is. And always curious, like learning for learning's sake. Like not just learning things like in school or in private study, but learning things about others, like making relationships to learn from them, or every person in your life taking a lesson from that person, whether you like them or not. You are a wonderful friend. There's an extra little squirrel down there. You have good friends around you, it looks like, or at least a couple of good friends around you. You are easy to get along with. You are fun to have fun with. And that's something that a lot of people find special about you, is that you don't even really have to be doing much and you still have fun. Those are my favorite kind of people, because then you don't have to worry about trying to find the fun. The fun's already there. And so you could just be sitting having a cup of coffee with somebody and they would still have like the most fun they've had in weeks, because you're just a fun person. You also are greatly admired by those around you. People recognize that you're special. You have a very positive vibe. Even though you get a lot of what you want, you're not pompous about it, and you're not like boastful about it. You just go with the flow and things seem to work out. But people are kind of in awe of you and might even put you on a pedestal a little bit, which can kind of be a little drawback sometimes when you're on a pedestal. They get mad at you when you can't live up to their expectations that are kind of totally and completely not logical. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. And that you're exactly where you need to be at the right time. Your soul kind of puts you in those positions to get you to where you need to be. And so I don't see you wondering a lot about like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Am I not doing the right thing? It's almost like you kind of just like, I don't know if it's the right thing, but this is what I feel like we should do. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. Okay. Let's get you some tarot, just for some more little props from your guides. We have the Nine of Wands, the Hierophant, the Ace of Swords, and the Two of Wands. You can do a lot on your own, and you do a lot on your own. I feel like you're one of those people that even if you don't want to take lead, you will. I also feel like you're last man standing when everybody else falls down. And you are, even if you're just as beat up as them, you can pull yourself back up, right? These stairs are like cluttered with wands, but you could still find your way to the top. You're a good teacher, even if it's just a teacher by example. If you are a teacher, then it's just more confirmation that you're in the right place, and you might be seen as a very special teacher in some way. People might come to you for advice because you're so wise. And you're also somebody who lives by their own convictions, but instead of trying to force that on anybody or lecture that onto anyone, it's just, you know, you lead by example, and if people follow, that's great. If not, that's their journey as far as you're concerned. You're honest and truthful, and like I said, not tactless. Like sometimes the page of, you know, the sword court cards can be, sometimes they're a little bit harsh in how they speak, but I'm not seeing that about you. I see you firmly standing by the truth and speaking what you know to be true and not apologizing for it, but that's not the same thing. And people might be like, oh, that's so mean. That's just gaslighting, manipulation. Just brush it off. Who cares? And you already are a good partner, or you will be a good partner because of that level-headed attitude. They're also showing with the Two of Wands that the sky is the limit. You know, the world is your oyster because you're handling things so well and manifesting so well already that if you actually even put more investment into that and more energy into it, it'll just get better and better and better. All right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. You awesome people, you. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comments section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading, there are ways to do so in the description box. We'll see you in the next one, my friends. Take care. Bye. Well, hello there, group 4. So if you picked the red and black heart, very hard to see its little details in this terrible lighting, but here it is. Let's go ahead and get into your reading, all about what makes you so special. Why are you so special? Page of Wands, 7 of Swords, the High Priestess, the 6 of Swords, 7 of Cups, and the 8 of Swords. Okay, let's go ahead. The message for that 8 of Swords is pretty cute. So, like, don't worry, we're not going to get into flaws. So if you see some of the cards that are considered somewhat negative when you're doing other readings, this is just looking at what's special about you. So don't worry. So with the Page of Wands, you are somebody who always stays very, very inspired, almost like a young, you know those kids when they're like super idyllic, right? And they're super excited about everything, and they're just very, very eager to learn, eager to experience new things, eager to find new inspirations, however they want to find it. Very fiery, passionate energy here. That is one of the things that's special about you. Even as times change or you get older, you still retain that youthful, inspired, there's magic in the world kind of energy. Very nice. The 7 of Swords shows that you are good at kind of masking, or I don't want to say like masking like you're phony, but you do a good job of not getting put on the radar for negativity for the most part. For others, this card should like represent something along the lines of you're skilled at what you do. You've gotten so good at it that you can like handle a lot more than what other people can in some way. So you've taken your abilities and made them kind of grow and shift just so that it can elevate you and make you better at what you do. So even if you're already the best at something, you still will strive to do better. And yeah, you fly under the radar. People don't, it's not like they don't notice you. It's just that they don't like automatically see you and distrust you. It's kind of the opposite. You have very strong intuition. You also have a connection to the moon. Your guides are probably telling you that part of what's special about you is that you have some sort of psychic ability. One of the other piles had that as well, represented by the moon card. I can't remember which group it was, but anyway. You have some kind of strong intuition. For you, it almost feels like just kind of knowing what to do, when to do it, and not really knowing why. Like you might be late one day and then you realize the reason why you were late that day is because you would have gotten stuck in traffic, right? Or, you break plans with somebody and then you find out they're a serial killer. That's a very, very extreme example, but it gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. Let me know if you ever dodged a serial killer that asked you out on a date. That would be interesting. I was thinking about that dating game show back in the day where that lady picked the guy and then decided that he was weird and didn't end up going out with him, and then he ended up being like a horrible serial killer. I can't remember their names. 6 of Swords, you're able to stand firm and make quick decisions that are in the benefit of everyone, even in the face of danger or conflict. I also see, I got a flash of this coworker I used to have when I was teaching. He was an older gentleman. He ended up like retiring a few years before I ended up having to quit. And I just loved him so much. He's one of my favorite people. And he was like an older guy in his 60s, maybe even like early 70s. I'm not sure. He looked great, for his age. So knowing how old he was difficult. But anyway, he was like the type that even though he was like this, becoming an elderly man, was still the guy that would look around the bus and check all the little overhead compartments and make sure they are closed, and so that nobody got hurt. He'd always check the floor to make sure there was nothing on the floor, and you'd see him move things out of the way. He never told anybody else they should be doing it. He just took care of it for everyone, almost unconsciously. He also, we were walking with a bunch of the kids on a field trip once, and I had my hands full, and my foot went into this hole in the pavement, and I mean there was nothing I could do. Totally caught me off guard. My brain stupidly still hung on to my stuff instead of just letting that go to catch my fall. And before I could even think, I felt him catch me. I thought it was one of the boys because it was such a strong, steady, quick thinking catch. And I look up and there's my boy. I love him so much. Anyway, when he retired, I cried, and I cried the first day of school because he wasn't there in the staff meeting, looking like a smart aleck, looking over at me oh, this is such BS. I just loved him. So I get that vibe from you, you actually thinking, being about 2 steps ahead of everybody else and just using that to help others without even thinking about it. It's a very beautiful energy. I like you now. We have the 7 of Cups. You're able to, again, be very, very swamped with different emotions flying around, different events flying around, other people's emotions flying around, and you being able to just stay above it. This little squirrel is kind of staying above all that confusion or all that uncertainty with the 7 of Cups. Sometimes this card can mean that people get overwhelmed, but I'm seeing you being the opposite of that. When everyone else is overwhelmed, you're the voice of reason. Very special. And then this one, see how the little rope has little flowers around it? I see you being somebody who, even in very trying circumstances and circumstances where you don't even know what to do, you still find a way to bring some kind of joy or comfort to the situation. And so that feels very nice from you as well. A little heart on its chest. It's you, even if you don't know what to do, you will still find a way to make it a little bit better in some way. Whether it's a good sense of humor, which I feel you have. I feel you have the type of sense of humor that you could crack a joke at a funeral, and instead of people being oh, not the time or place, man, very insensitive, they would actually be able to get relief from having a laugh, right? That kind of energy. If you have young people around you that are afraid or uncertain, and you are also afraid and uncertain, you still would be but we're all together. You'd have wise things to say and ways to comfort them. So that's also very nice. Let's look and see what else your guides have to say. Wow, how special you are. You're admired for this. Man, there was another group we did earlier. It might have been group 1 that felt this energy as well. You might have been drawn to more than one pile. Let me know in the comments section. I feel I'm losing my mind. Is this 2 6s of Wands? Or these swords? Okay, we'll say, oh, okay, these are swords. Okay, thank you, Spirit. So 6 of Wands and 6 of Swords. You got 6 of Swords again. So once again, your guides are saying that because of this, you're greatly admired by those around you. People notice your good deeds. I think they notice them even more than you do. They notice that positivity about you. They almost depend on it in some cases. If you're not there to lend a helping hand or to give a kind word, they miss you being there, right? What would you say? Even to the point that if you were gone, it'd be in 6 Feet Under, where they said, this person was so good at helping people when they were grieving, if only he were here, because that person had passed away. Not that you're going to pass away anytime soon, my friends, but people are going to say those things about you after you're gone. You're going to have a legacy. You have very good intuition, And so like we were saying with this card here, even when things are dark and bleak, and this one, you are somebody who shows light in the darkness. You're also somebody who just intuitively knows what to say and what to do for others to help them in those dark moments. We also have, yep, very intuitive, my goodness. I'm just saying the same things over and over for you, group 4. You have such a gift of knowing what to do, when to do it. And your guides are saying that that's not just because of experience. That's because part of what your soul is made up of. It's part of what your life journey is supposed to be. That's like part of your role, right? And 10 of Swords, moving forward and finding the light even in the darkest of places, right? The 10 of Swords is always like this very bleak picture, but at the same time, there's always light on the horizon. And you're the person that shows people that light, regardless of. I feel like some of you have really given people comfort in like times of just utter despair. I do have veteran vibes because that friend of mine was a veteran. So if you're a veteran watching, thank you so much for your service. I really, really appreciate you. Okay, and with that, we're going to let you go. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comments section. Give me topic ideas there as well. Clearly, I'm terrible at picking those. And if you'd like to book a private reading, there's ways to do so in the description box. All right, my friends, thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.